Hello and warm welcome to everyone joining us today. I'm your host Dalvinder Kaur from lovely Professional University. Let's dive into today's topic US Professional Certification in Accounting and Finance. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the experts of the day. Dr. Monica Mishra, Assistant Professor, Mittal School of Business, lovely Professional University. With over 3 years of teaching experience to her role, Dr. Mishra research focuses on accounting and finance, contributing valuable insights to the field. So now I would like to introduce Mr. Madan MG also in this webinar. Welcome, Mr. Madan MG. He is the US CPA and Manager Academics, Miles Education Private Limited, with a strong background in audit, tax, and academia, combined with a passion for continuous learning, position him to add significant value to any forward thinking team in a fast paced dynamic environment. Before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone for any questions you can write in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side in the end of this webinar. Now I'm going to hand over this session to our experts, Dr. Monica Mishra and Mr. Madan MG, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from them. Over to you both.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes.
you're audible. You can continue.
Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this special webinar hosted by School of Management and Commerce, Lovely Professional University, a premier institution that continues to set benchmark in commerce and business education in India and beyond. Today, we shine a spotlight on our flagship programs that has been meticulously designed for aspiring global professionals. So we have two programs, BCom Management Accounting and International Finance, tied up with CMA, BCom Corporate Finance integrated with CPA. So with a vision to equip our students not only with the theoretical knowledge but also to prepare them to be the global leader, to stand for in the front in the global business environment. We are providing this enriching curriculum that blends the academic excellence with professional certification program. So today we have with us the expert in the domain who is leading the path, Mr. Madan MG. So now I am handing over the session to Mr. Madan. Sir, please start.
Yes. Hey everyone. Myself Madan. I'm a qualified CMA and qualified CPA. Today I'm going to explain why CPA CMA in India. Okay, let's keep this as a 3 point. Why we are doing CPA CMA? Why US professional? Because we have Indian professional as well. We have Indian CMA. We have Indian CA. And how we are going to take this exam? How exam would looks like? Then at the end, as a Miles and Lovely Professional University, how we are going to help to achieve that milestone. Okay, I'm going to keep these three. Okay, first let's discuss why US CPA. In India also we have CA, right? US CPA or CMA. Why US professional? Okay, let me give with number. Let me give example with number. If I take top 100 companies in Bangalore, I'm from Bangalore. I'll take Bangalore as an example. If I take top 100 companies in Bangalore, can I see minimum 50 companies in US companies? Yes, we are staying in Bangalore. Yes, we are staying in India. But if I take top 100 companies, can I see minimum 50 US companies? Okay, if not 50, can I see at least 40? Do you guys agree for that? In Bangalore, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, Google, Apple, take any company, any top companies. Majority of top companies are from US. Okay, when companies are US, when companies are raising fund in US, they ask to submit their financial report as per US GAAP. They can't submit their financial report as per Indian GAAP. If you take top big four company, what are the big four? We have accounting big four. For engineers, what are the dream companies? For engineers, Apple, Google is a dream companies. As a commerce student, for us, what are the dream companies? Big four is a dream companies. What are the big fours? KPMG, EY, PwC, and Deloitte. These are the dream companies for commerce student. If I take Bangalore, Deloitte, 60 to 70% of their work is outsourcing. They are doing work for US people. Yes, remaining 30% they are doing for India as well. Only for that 30% work, they need Indian CA or Indian CMA. Remaining 70%, they need someone who is qualified with US GAAP. Okay, that's why even in staying in India, US profession has more opportunity. Okay, that is one thing. Not only this US company. If you heard about Infosys and Wipro, even they raise fund in New York Stock Exchange market. Any company which raises fund in any New York or any US stock market, they ask to submit their financial report as per US GAAP. Okay, let's think I'm a company. If I want to submit financial report as per US GAAP, do I prefer CA or do I prefer CPA? Definitely, I would prefer CPA, right? Because CPA or CMA, they know more about US GAAP. That is generally accepted accounting principle. Okay, when I'm submitting my financial statement for US, I would prefer someone who knows US GAAP. I would hire someone who knows, someone who is expertise in US GAAP. Okay, here staying in India, that is a value of US professional. Okay, if you are seeing from last 10 years, it's been globalization, right? Okay, you can sit anywhere and you can work for any countries. Okay, that is what we have been seeing from last 10 years. Okay, that is a value of US CMA or US CPA here in India. Okay, now come to how does your exam for CMA or CPA looks. When it comes, first I'll start with CMA, then we will go to CPA. When it comes to CMA, we have only two papers, part 1 and part 2. Let me show you quickly. I'll share my screen. Yes, is it visible?
Yes, it's
Yes,
visible.
no.
You can continue.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Okay, CMA, as I mentioned, it has only two part 1 and part 2. If you pass all these two part, you will be called as CMA certified. In part 1, again we have six subsection. What are the six subsections? Section A is financial reporting decision, external financial reporting decision. Here basically we are going to learn five basic financial statement. What are the five basic financial statement? That is balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flow, statement of changes in equity, and notes to the financial statement. We have two parts. In two parts, each part we have six subsection. First section is financial reporting. Okay, if you are starting any company, first you have to know about your financial reporting, right? What are the basic financial statements, how you have to report, how you have to comply with rules and regulation. That is what we are going to learn in section A. Next, come to section B, that is planning, budgeting and forecasting. Okay, here you are going to see how to plan your production, how to plan your business, how to budget, and how to forecast. Okay, here you are going to learn about budgeting, here you are going to learn about forecasting techniques, here you are going to learn about SWOT analysis. That is what basically you are going to learn in section B. Now come to section C, that is performance management. Here we are going to check how your management is performing, how to evaluate that. Basically, we are going to evaluate their performance. Next, very important is cost management. Go to any business. Any business, they have two method of making profit. One, either increase sales price or decrease cost. This is a two ways to make a huge profit. Okay, increase sales price is a difficult decision because if your rival company, if they are giving for 10 rupees, if you increase your product price to 12 rupees, then definitely no one would prefer your product. So what is the other option we have? Decrease cost effectively. Don't reduce quality of product, but reduce cost by using resource effectively. That is what we are going to learn in section D. Then section E, we are going to discuss about internal control. Take any company, any organization, every organization should have internal control. For example, take any college as an example. What would be a situation if they don't have watchman in the gate? Would it be same college? No, right? Even in the organization, there should be some internal control. Here we are going to discuss about SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Here we are going to discuss about COSO framework. This is what we are going to discuss in section E. Now come to section F, that is technology. Okay, can you guess any company which are not using technology? Any one company? No, right? It is impossible to find any company which are not using technology. Nowadays, everyone is using technology. Okay, that's why here we are going to learn about technology. Of course, we are not going to learn coding, programming, but basic technology as an accountant or as a management professional, basic technology we need to be aware. That is what we are going to learn in section F. This is our part one. Now come to part two. Basically, in part one, what we are going to learn in part one, how to start a business, how to report financial statement, how to plan, how to evaluate performance of management, how to reduce your cost effectively. That is what we are going to learn in part one. Basically, in part one, you are going to get all basics. Next, once part one is done, we are going to learn part two. Basically, part two is a continuation of your part one. In part one, we studied about how to start a business, how to report financial statement. In part two, we are going to learn little advance of that. We'll start with financial statement analysis. What is financial statement analysis? In part one, we learned about financial reporting. What are the basic financial statement? What financial statement we have to submit for regulatory bodies. But when it comes to section A of part 2, we are going to learn about financial statement analysis. Okay, by taking two companies' financial statement, how we can analyze. That is what we are going to learn in section A of part 2. Then we are going to learn corporate finance. What is corporate finance? How to raise fund, how to maintain minimal working cap, minimal weighted average capital. This is what we are going to learn in section B. Section C, we are going to learn about decision analysis. Sometimes companies are going to have options. What are the options? Let's think I'm an Indian company. I'm a manufacturer of mobile. I'm a manufacturer of mobile. If I manufacture in India, it could cost 10,000. But if I import same mobile from China, it would cost 9,000. But what is the issue? Quality is a issue if I import from China. Now, as a company, we have to take decision whether to manufacturing in India or whether to import from China. Next, risk management. Every company is going to have risk, right? What is risk? Risk could be anything which stops company from achieving their objective. That is risk. If company knows how to manage their risk, if company know how to avoid their risk, that is a better position. Okay, here we are going to understand what are the kinds of risk, how we can respond to those risks. Then in section E, we are going to discuss about capital investment decision. Here we are going to see NPV, IRR, payback period. Basically, if you are investing in something, we have to see how much return we are going to get in future. Is it worth of investing today? That is what we are going to learn in section E. Then in section F, we are going to discuss about professional ethics. Any professional, go to CA, go to CPA or ACCA or CMA, every professional should have some ethics. At the end of part 2, we are going to learn about this professional ethics. Okay, these are the subjects we are going to learn in CMA part 1 and part 2. How would your exam looks? Exam part 1 and part 2, both exams we are going to write for 500 marks. In that 500 marks, 75% is MCQs and 25% is your essay. MCQ is simple. You know what is MCQ is? We are going to get one question, four option. We have to select one right answer. That is MCQ. Now come to essay. What is essay? They are going to give some case based on real scenario, based on your business. Okay, they are going to ask some question based on that question. Okay, they are going to give one case. Based on that case, they are going to give sub question. We have to answer for that. Okay, total marks is 500. 75% is MCQ, that is 375 marks, and 25% is essay, that is 125 marks. What would be a passing marks? 360 is a passing mark. Okay, this is how CMA exam would look. Okay, now come to how Miles and Lovely Professional University is going to help you to pass this CMA exam. Okay, in CMA, we have two parts. We divided these two parts into 5 BCom subject. When we were in BCom, we didn't have this option. We had to complete BCom first, then we had to go for CMA separately. But now you guys have option. What is the option? This CMA is integrated with your BCom. Okay, every semester you are going to have 6 subjects. If college is private university or if college is autonomous, they have freedom to select these 6 subjects. Okay, what we did as a Miles and Lovely Professional University, we removed one normal BCom subject and we put one CMA subject in that normal BCom subject. So these two part we divide into 5 BCom subject. In each semester you are going to learn part 1 we divided into 3 papers, part 2 we divided into 2 papers. Part 1 we are going to complete by the end of third semester so that you can take exam in fourth semester, and part 2 we are going to complete in fifth semester so that you can complete your exam in sixth semester. Okay, what is our whole idea? Before you complete your graduation, you are going to have one certification if you are taking CMA. Okay, that is a whole idea of CMA. Now can we move to CPA? Yes, just give me a minute.
Yes, please continue.
Yes, 1 minute. I'm logging
Yeah,
here.
no problem, no problem.
Yes. Now come to CPA. Okay. What is CPA? CPA is Certified Public Accounting. Here in India, we have CA. What is the job of CA? They are going to file tax for other people. They are going to audit public companies. They are going to audit private companies. They are going to audit public companies. This is what CA does in India. Now, when it comes to CPA, CPA is exactly equivalent to CA in US. Okay, in India we have CA, in US we have CPA. When it comes to CPA, we have 4 subjects. In that 4 subject, 3 is core. You don't have any option in that 3 subject, and 1 is discipline. What is 3 subject? Financial accounting and reporting, and auditing. Yes, here we have that. Financial accounting and reporting, auditing, and regulation. These 3 are core paper. You don't have any option in these 3 paper. You have to write for audit and regulation. Now come to discipline. When it comes to discipline, we have 3 disciplines. What are the 3 disciplines? We have bar, business analysis and reporting. We have TCP, tax compliance and planning, and we have IT, information technology. Okay, now for a university student, we are not teaching TCP or information technology. We are teaching bar. Why we are teaching bar? Because if you go with tax, someone who is specialized, someone who has been working for last 3 4 years, we would suggest them to go with tax paper, tax as a specialization or discipline paper. If someone is has been working in audit, for them we would suggest them to go with IT. But for a student, we would suggest them to go with bar. These are the 4 subjects. When it comes to CA, we have to write 16 exam, but when it comes to CPA, we have to write only 4 exam. Okay, now you might ask, sir, you are telling both as same value, but one has 16 exam and one has 14 exam. How would you justify? I'll justify that. When it comes to CA, there is no mandatory of graduation. Okay, as soon as you complete your 12th, you can go for CA and you can complete. What is the assumption of CA? Everything you are going to learn in CA only. Okay, that's why they have 16 subject. That's why they have 3 levels. But now come to CPA on other hand. CPA, what is the assumption? You're going to learn years for CPA to write exam. You have to complete your BCom or you have to complete your bachelor's. Once you complete your bachelor's, then only you are eligible to write CPA exam. Okay, what is the assumption of CPA? Basic things you are going to learn when you are in bachelor's. Only additional and technical skills we are going to learn in CPA. As I mentioned, if you pass these 4 subjects, you will get CPA license. What are the 4 subjects? 3 core papers, that is financial accounting and reporting, auditing and attestation, taxation and regulation, and one discipline. Discipline we have 3, but for university student we would suggest bar, that is business analysis and reporting. I'll give just overview of how your syllabus would look. Yes. First, I'll take you through financial accounting and reporting. Here, what is financial accounting and reporting? Basically, how you are going to report your financial information to the public. That is financial accounting and reporting. Here, we are going to see five basic financial statement. That is balance sheet, income statement,
Mr.
statement of
Madan,
cash.
sorry for the interruption. Can you please check your screen? Screen is not running.
Just a minute.
Can you please check the screen? Yes,
I'll share once again. One minute.
no problem.
Is it visible now?
Yes, screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, yes, perfect.
Yes,
You can
yes. These
continue.
are the yes. I'm sorry. These are the four subject: FAR, audit, regulation, and bar. We'll go with FAR first. I'll just give a overview of your FAR would look. As I mentioned, what is FAR? Financial accounting and reporting. You have to report your financial information, your company's financial information to the public. Why you have to report to the public? Because they are the people who invested in your company, right? Okay, you have to give your information to the public with some set of rules and regulation. What are the financial reporting you are going to give? You are going to give five basic financial statement, that is balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flow, statement of equity, and notes to the financial statement. Okay, basically in this far we are going to learn these five basic financial statement and how to recognize item in this five basic financial statement. Okay, how to recognize asset in balance sheet, how to recognize liability in liability side, how to recognize revenue in income statement, how to recognize expense in income statement, how to show operating activity in cash flow statement. This is what we are going to learn in FAR, that is financial accounting and reporting. Next subject is audit. What is audit? Basically, financial statement. As a company, companies are going to prepare financial statement, but it is difficult to believe, right? If company is preparing their own financial statement, definitely they would say everything is correct, but there might be a chances in their financial statement something might be missed, right? That's why what we will do, auditor, as a auditor, is a different person. He'll come to company and he'll check financial statement which are prepared by company. Okay, in FAR, what we learned, how to prepare financial statement, how to report financial statement. That is what we learned in FAR. Now come to audit. In other hand, what is the job of auditor? Someone prepared already financial statement. As a auditor, you'll come in and you'll check whether the financial statement is correct or not. Okay, for that in US we have separate rule called generally accepted auditing standards. To prepare financial statement, we have GAP. To audit financial statement, we have GAS. What is GAP? Generally accepted accounting principle. To prepare financial reporting. To audit, we have separate rule. What is the rule? That is GAS, generally accepted auditing standard. Okay, in auditing, basically we are going to learn how to plan your audit, how to check internal control. Companies are going to have internal control. You have to check their internal control and you have to collect evidence. That is called corroborative audit evidence. You can't simply say financial statement is right or financial statement is wrong. You have to give evidence for that, whether financial statement is correct or not, how you come to conclusion. You have to give that evidence. Then consideration of audit framework. In US, if you are auditing insurance company, you have to follow different set of rule. If you are auditing government company, you have to follow set of ev- different set of your framework. That is what we are going to see. Then audit report. Once you check everything, once you come up with the conclusion, you have to report that. How you are going to report, that is what we are going to learn. This is basically your auditing syllabus. Third one, taxation and regulation. Here we are going to learn basically form 1120, 1120s and 1040. How to file individual tax, how to file corporate tax, how to file partnership tax. Okay, recently I was discussing with one of the KPMG colleague, and he was telling whatever they're going to work in India for tax, 80% of their tax is US outsourcing. Even if you know just what is Form 1040 and how to file Form 1040, no need to go for job. Easily you can do freelancing job. Even if you know how to file 1120 for S corporation, no need to go for a job. You can easily work as a freelancing. Okay, in tax, what and all we are going to learn? How to file individual tax, how to file corporate tax. In corporate, again, we are going to learn big corporation, small corporation, and some rules and responsibility of accountant we are going to learn here. Then business law we are going to learn. These are the three core papers what we are going to learn in CPA. Next, come to discipline. Discipline, that is business analysis and reporting. Here basically we are going to learn how to analyze your business, how to analyze your working capital, how to analyze your cash flow, whether everything is going as per the plan. And here we are going to learn SWOT analysis. Here we are going to learn Kaizen analysis. Here basically how to run business effectively or efficiently. That is what we are going to learn in BAR, that is business analysis and reporting. Okay, in CPA, how many papers we have? Three core and one discipline. These are the four papers. Okay, this is a exam plan. Now come as a Miles and Lovely Professional University, how we are going to help to understand this concept, how we are going to teach. These four subjects we divided into 8 year BCom subject. These four subject we divided into 8 subject. Each subject we divided into two subject. In each year you're going to learn two subject, and last year you're going to learn four subject. Basically when you are in college you're going to read or you're going to study whole CPA. As soon as you complete your BCom, or if you are studying PG, when you are studying PG you can write exam. If you are studying BCom, as soon as you completed your BCom you can take CPA exam. Basically you are going to study your whole CPA syllabus when you are in BCom. As soon as you complete BCom you can go and take CPA exam. Okay, now how would your CPA exam would look like? CPA exam 50% is MCQ, 50% is simulation. MCQ is simple. You know how MCQ would look. You'll get one question, four option. You have to select one right answer. Now come to simulation. How does your simulation looks? Let me open one simulation. You'll get idea. Yes, this is how your simulation would looks. They gave case study. If you see here, they gave case study. Based on that they wrote some memo, but in that memo there are some mistake. That mistake we have to rectify. That is simulation. Okay, sometimes they're going to give balance sheet, income statement, cash flow, every statement they're going to give. Based on that they're going to give some information. Okay, you have to refer balance sheet, you have to refer income statement, you have to refer cash flow statement. Based on that you have to answer for the question. That is how simulation would look. 50% is MCQ, 50% is simulation. Total 100 marks. Passing marks is 75. Okay, as a Miles and Lovely Professional University, how we are going to help? As I mentioned, we are going to teach concept when you are in college. Once you finish your college, we are going to support for your evaluation and your study plan. Everything we are going to take care of your until you get license. Everything we will take care. Okay, it is not like once you complete your BCom, it is not our case. Once you complete your BCom, till you complete your CPA and till you take your CPA license, we will help for everything. Okay, this is how your CMA and CPA would look. Yes, now I think I'm open for question. Hello.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Madan.
Yes.
I would like to invite Dr. Monica to be on the screen. Over to you, Dr. Monica. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I have few questions. Thank you so much, sir, for the enriching presentation. I want to know how this AI and automation is impacting the job role in CMA and CP.
Yes, normally I would get this question, ma'am. How would AI would whether AI would take our jobs or not? Okay, I'll just give an example. In 80s or in 70s, people invented machinery. Even that time we had a scare that our job would go, but it continues. In 90s we invented computers. Even that time people had a fear that they would lose a job, but we survived. Okay, now in this 2025 era, we have AI. Okay, again we have a fear, but definitely it is not going to take our job. Okay, as everyone mentioned, AI won't take any job, but we have to be updated. Okay, if you see CMA or CPA syllabus, in CMA, while I was explaining part 1, they had separate section called technology. Okay, there we are, as a manager we are going to learn what are the basic technology. As a manager, how I need to use technology, that is what we are going to learn in that technology. If you come to CPA, we have discipline. Out of three discipline, one discipline is for IT only. Okay, there you are going to learn what are the basic technology as a manager or as an accountant. That is what we are going to learn in CMA or CPA. Okay, every 2 years CMA is going to change syllabus as per industry standard. Every 4 years CPA is going to change syllabus as per industry standard. Okay, once you get license of CPA or CMA, definitely you're not going to stop learning there. Okay, to maintain that certificate every year you are going to learn something. And yeah, of course, AI won't take your job, but you have to be updated.
Yes, sir, very rightly explained. So, like how you will say that how the salary increment or career boost one can get after doing all this like professional certifications.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just give a number. Just in Bangalore, every year 50,000 students are passing BCom and BBA. Just in Bangalore, I'm not even taking whole Karnataka. Just in Bangalore, 40 to 50,000 students are passing BCom and BBA. Okay, if students want to be different, if students want to go some good career, if they want to achieve some good career, then they should need one certificate or license. Then only they can go then only they can achieve that professional bar. Okay, when it comes to salary, yes, I can't say exact salary. If you clear CMA before your graduation, as soon as you complete your graduation, you can expect 5.5 to 6 lakh. If you are a CPA, you can expect somewhere around 10 to 12 lakh as a fresher. Again, once you get 10 to 12 lakh, your experience will add, and based on your experience, your knowledge, you're going to get higher salary.
And like student, we mostly get like they have this goal that they want to work with the big four audit firms. So for them, which of the certification will be the most suitable one?
Yes, ma'am. As I mentioned, big four companies, 60 to 70% of their work is outsourcing. Okay, they are outsourcing their work for US or UK. Okay, yes, 20 to 30% they are working for India. For that 20 to 30%, they need Indian CA, Indian CMA. But when they are outsourcing work to US, they need someone who is specialized in US GAAP and US gas. Okay, when it comes to Big Four, normally their accounting service job is lesser, but auditing and tax service is more. Okay, if you could complete CPA, easily you'll get into Big Four. CPA would be a better option to go to Big Four. But if you want to go to work in any US company, not a Big Four, then even CMA is a better option. Why I'm saying CMA? Easily you can clear. When you are in BCom only, you can clear CMA, and it is just a two paper. But CPA, you have to complete your graduation, then only you can go for exam, and it is four paper. But if your goal is to go for Big Four, then go with CPA. If your goal is to work in finance, F&P role or any other big company, then go with CMA.
So do you mean they like the career opportunities in US and in India after this certification varies?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely it will value. I'll give example of CPA. Okay, I have been taking Sunday class here in Bangalore. I know one person who completed CA and he has been working with EY from last 12 years. He completed CA 8 years back only. He completed CA, and he has been working with EY. Now he is doing CPA. I just asked why you are doing CPA, because in Big Four company they have one mandate rule. If they are working for US audit or if they are working for US tax, they have to clear this US CPA. Not only that, if you are an Indian CA, if you are going to Canada, you have to write one more exam to get Canadian CPA license. But if you are a US CPA, if you are moving to Canada, no need to write any exam. You'll get Canadian CPA, but you have to pay some minimal fees. That is the advantage. If you are an Indian CA, if you are moving to Canada, you'll get Canadian CPA, but you have to write one exam. But if you are a US CPA, if you are moving to Canada, no need to write any exam, but you have to pay some minimal fees. That is one thing. Even you can move to Australia if you have US CPA, you can move to Australia, but you have to write one paper. Total they have 8 papers something, but if you are a US CPA, you have to write one paper, you'll get Australian CPA license. Plus, if you take Middle East countries, okay, majorly Middle East countries, most of the investment for Middle East countries are US investment. Okay, there is a huge requirement for US CMA and CPA.
Also, like for this certification program, where we see the demand is high in corporates or in public sectors.
Um, if you are working in India, it is in corporate. If you are working in US, then it is mostly CPA firms. Okay, recently as a minds we have been sending CPA students to US. Okay, there is a huge demand in CPA firm for CPAs. Okay, if you want to work in US, there you can work in CPA firm. If you are working in India, you can go to Big Four. Not only Big Four, we have Grant Thornton, we are RNS, then we have GT. These are the company you can work here in India. But if you are going to US, there you'll get lot of opportunities. But if you are working in India, you can't directly work with government, but you can work with corporates.
Like if a student is going for a professional course like MBA after having this certification, so is it adds more value?
Definitely, ma'am. For CPA, to write an exam, we need 120 hours of credit. But to get license, we need 150 hours of credit. As I mentioned earlier, what is the assumption of CA? No need of bachelor's, no need of post graduation. As soon as you complete your 12th, you can go for CA. That is the assumption of CA. But when it comes to CA or CMA, bachelor's is mandatory. For CPA, you have to complete masters to get license. Until you complete your masters, you won't get license. What is the assumption? That's why we have only four subjects. What is the assumption? All basic things we are going to learn in bachelor's and PG. Only technical skills and additional skills we are going to learn in this CPA. Definitely, if people are going for MBA, that is an added advantage if they are doing CPA.
Thank you so much, Mr. Madan. I hope most of the queries might have get cleared from our participants. Now over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Monica Mishra and Mr. Madan. If anyone have any questions regarding the admissions, they just write on us at admissions@lpu.co.in. And you can do WhatsApp chat with us. Our WhatsApp number is 985256900. I'm repeating the number. It's 985256900. I hope all the participants got the answers from our today's expert, Mr. Madan, MG, and thank you so much, Dr. Monica Mishra, once again. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our experts for sharing their valuable insights and expertise with us. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation have made this experience truly special. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding admissions. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, or can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again. With the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Take care and goodbye. Have a great day.